Operator, won't you help me place this call? And that is the dial tone I just played you. I think it's where they got the dial tone from. And thank you for listening to We're All Psychic. And this is Lisa Russick. And I did this all backwards. Why? No reason, really. This is the third episode of our sound healing series. Where did it go? I don't know, but I still think we're all psychic. Yes. It's just been a little put off and put back and thought about it. And really it was just presenting it. I kind of feel a little self-conscious about the presentation of the last one because I was like having a hard time with the numbers. So I spent a little time kind of getting more comfortable with some of these numbers and looking at them and working with the forks more. The bowls I work with a lot, but the forks I haven't worked with as much, except to fork people randomly, especially Angelina. I do like to fork Angelina. And this is an example of forking someone. This is an audio-only podcast, but if someone were in front of me, I'd take this tuning fork, which is 417 hertz, and go like this. Wait for it. Haha, you have been forked. If you just decided to start on the sound healing series on episode 3, that's fine. I'll do a little recap. The first season or episode, I just talked about the history of sound healing that we know of. And then in the second series, I'm sorry, I keep saying series for episode. If you're new to this, you'll get used to that kind of, and you'll maybe even like the parts. Or not. See you around. I'm just kidding. So in the second episode, I went over basically a lot of different types of ways to associate with the frequencies according to other things associated with these, but like the angels. The ones I want to cover are, and the ones I covered in the 432 hertz frequency podcast, which was episode 2 of the Sound Healing podcast, are the same ones I'm going to do today in this podcast with the Solfeggio Frequencies. So the Solfeggio Frequencies, you may hear of them in reference to tuning forks and also in binaural beats. They will mix solfeggio notes together or play 2 or 3 at the same time. In panned ways. Panned means like left and right, or in your ears, so you hear them in 2 different ears, which is what I played at the beginning of the podcast. So hopefully it turned out right for you guys. But the associations I'm going to cover are your brainwave correspondences, healing effects, chakra associations, organs, bodily systems, gemstones and crystals, angels and archangels, and astrological correspondences. So I did the same thing in the second episode with the 432 hertz scale and described that some. So I'm going to do the same with the solfeggio frequencies. They're very fascinating. And I'm going to start with the 174 hertz. And this is the low boy. I'm going to play it for you. See how it goes. This 174 hertz solfeggio frequency is associated with the delta brainwave. The healing effects it can have are for pain relief and physical healing. Did you guys feel any of that? The chakra association is the root chakra, so it can balance the root chakra. The organs and bodily systems it is associated with are the bones, the muscles, and the nerves. Gemstones and crystals associated with this frequency, black tourmaline and hematite. So you can see if you have listened to the others and you know some stuff about stones and all this stuff already and roots, chakras and whatnot. These are all like corresponding, just like the last one. Very many of these stones correspond with the same chakras. Some of these are, like with the stones and the chakras. You can see that they correspond like they did in certain frequencies with the 432 hertz bowls. So interestingly, wouldn't it be cool just in the middle of describing all these different associations. I think I just went through them all. No, I still got a few. But, take this red jasper at 174 hertz and that tuning fork, and maybe take the associated red jasper. That's for another. I'm sorry, black tourmaline. We'll use black tourmaline. So maybe a 432 hertz associated with black tourmaline or hematite. Use those two as well in association with the 174 hertz Solfeggio frequency tuning fork, and maybe something magical can happen there. Just throwing that out there. It's kind of things that pop into my head when I do this podcast, or these podcasts like this one. Really excited to try that. We have Archangel Uriel as the angel associated with this 174 hertz Solfeggio frequency. And the astrological correspondences are Capricorn and Saturn. And I think Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, the modern ruler. And next, I am going to play the 285 hertz Solfeggio frequency. Okay, you ready? You ready? I'm excited. Why am I hearing myself? What up with that? Okay, it stopped. Okay. Now we're back to norms. Something weird happened that's quite magical. Well, listeners, and that was really strange because when I did that recording for that one note, it fed, for some reason, it fed back through the microphone and you heard it. Well, you just never know. Let's see what the associations are with the 285 hertz Solfeggio frequency. The brainwave correspondences are delta and theta. The healing effects are cellular repair, tissue healing. The chakra association is the root chakra. The organs or bodily systems associated are skin, immune system, and regeneration. The gemstones and crystals associated, this one's the red jasper and bloodstone. Angels and archangels, Archangel Raphael and Uriel, both of those two are special. Uriel was the last one, but this one was Archangel Raphael, and I think maybe that's why the sound went a little weird, something weird happened. Who knows? Because we also have as our astrological correspondences Aries and Mars. That might make sense too, because things happen with Aries and Mars and Aries. And that's the ruler of Aries. I think that's all how these are going to play out as well. Did you feel anything with that when I played it? Anything with these associations? Anything at all? I'd love to hear in the comments. So now I am going to play for you the 396 hertz tuning fork. Oh yes, we are about to play that tuning fork. So, what you just heard was the ever-elusive 396 hertz Solfeggio frequency. It is associated with the brainwave correspondence theta. Healing effects, releasing fear, emotional healing. Chakra association, root chakra. Organs, bodily systems, lower back, legs, feet. Gemstones and crystals, obsidian, smoky quartz. Archangels and angels, Archangel Michael. Astrological correspondences, Scorpio and Pluto. These have all been root chakra, so I found that really helpful for me. And what I didn't mention in the beginning of the podcast for anyone who just happened to hop in here, I am going to be working with the Sound Healing series personally to try to help with my PTSD. And I'm going to add grief to that because I'm grieving a lot of losses in the past and losses that they were in my control in some ways, but not. The loss of the family I once had and the leave was what it was. And that was, with the kids and stuff. And, my parents are older and they're changing, and a lot of my friends are gone. And it's just like, there's been a lot of grief that I live with, and I cry like every morning, and I really want to try these healing frequencies with that too. And that's part of the reason why I haven't continued on with the healing series in a couple months. I've been kind of grieving. Grieving. It's hard to explain if you've been in grief, but it's everybody grieves over different things, and I've done podcasts about it. But it's just what I'd like to add to this as we go through it. And I'm going to talk about different chakras as we continue on into the 4th episode about where grief hits us. So let me go back to the next exciting sound fork we have for you. And I know you're so excited. You just can't stand it. What we have is, the 417 hertz Solfeggio Frequency Tuning Fork. And here it is for you. Now I'll go over the correspondences for this mysterious 417 hertz Solfeggio frequency. This one goes to the theta alpha brainwaves. And then as we're having a change up here, we're moving on up. So these are kind of corresponding like the sound bowls are going in between and then to the next chakra, and then in between the chakras and then to the next chakra. So this one is the theta alpha, and then the healing effects are removing negative energy and facilitating change. I need that one. I need them all. That's why I have them. So our chakra is sacral chakra association. The organs in the bodily systems associated are the reproductive organs, the kidneys and the bladder. The crystal, or the gemstones associated with this frequency are carnelian and orange calcite. And the archangel and archangels associated is Archangel Gabriel, or Gabriel. Gabriel. I just like saying it. I don't know how to say it. And the astrological correspondences are Cancer and the Moon. That's why I felt something with that one. And it's sacral, and the moon is emotional. Cancer is emotional. It's really cool. I like that. Did you guys feel that? Let me know. Next up, we have 528 hertz. Yeah, 528 hertz. And I'm going to give you a little sampling, a little kiss sound of 528 hertz tuning fork. My goodness, that tuning fork, 528 hertz tuning fork. Well, it is another day. That might be why, but it sure did make me feel better. I ran out of steam last night, and now I'm finishing. And that was the 528 tuning fork in the Solfeggio frequencies. And the brainwave correspondence is the alpha brainwaves. And our healing effect correspondences are DNA repair, transformation. No wonder it made me feel better. It wasn't just because it was another day. Oh, here's another reason. The chakra association is the solar plexus chakra. And the organs and the bodily systems that it's associated with are the digestive system, the pancreas, and metabolism. And I have issues with all of those. So this was a good fork for me. And the stones, citrine and yellow topaz. Archangels association is Archangel Raphael, or Raphael. I love Archangel Raphael. Y'all know that already from the 285 hertz fork. And the astrological correspondences are Leo and the Sun. So, at this point, we've gone through 5 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Solfeggio frequency tuning forks. And we have 5 more to go. And I'm looking, at these 5 that I've gone through, and I'm thinking about PTSD, and I'm thinking about grief. So looking at these, I really feel like this 528 hertz fork could be a really good one for me for my solar plexus, which can be very much affected by grief. And I do believe that any of these grounding root chakra tuning forks can really help with the PTSD. That's what I'm thinking so far. So as we go on and continue forward, we will continue forward with the 639 hertz tuning fork. And just for you listeners, here it is. And that, my listeners, was the soothing sound of 639 hertz in a tuning fork. And the brainwave correspondences are the alpha and the theta brainwaves. The healing effects, harmonizing relationships, communication. Ooh, I like this one. Heart chakra is the chakra it's associated with. Oh, I love the heart chakra. I love being all in my heart chakra, and that one did feel pretty good. And then for the bodily systems and organ associations, we have for the 639 hertz frequency and the solfeggios, we have heart, lungs, and circulatory system. The gemstones and crystals associated are rose quartz and green aventurine. The archangel or archangels associated with this is Archangel Camuel. And the astrological correspondences are Libra and Venus. So, of course, Libra is a relationship sign, and Venus is a love and relationship sign. So that makes sense that this one sounds all about love and making you feel better about your relationships and opening the lines of communication, as my friend Akasha might say. And I think that one would work really well for grief, expressing it and loving what it did offer you. Because grief does offer us something. Every different type of grief offers us a release of some sort. And next up, after that lovely 639 hertz, we have the 741 hertz Solfeggio frequency. And now, listeners, I will play you that beautiful tuning fork and see how you feel. So that, my dear friends, how did you feel? That was 741 hertz in the Solfeggio Frequencies tuning forks. So the brainwave correspondence, there's 2. It is the alpha and theta. The healing effects it's alpha and beta. I got that one wrong. Because the 639 was the alpha and theta. So the 741 hertz brainwaves. My brainwaves need some help today, I think. That's why all these alphas are throwing me off. So it's alpha and beta brainwaves that are affected. The healing effects are detoxification and problem solving. That's interesting. Okay, so this is cool. This is probably why detoxification and problem solving is related to the throat chakra as its associations. So, detoxifying, if you speak your truth, you're going to detoxify a lot of emotional crap in your life. I think that's how I would take that. And the problem solving throat chakra, you have to speak to coordinate with people to problem solve with them anyway. Then we have the organs and bodily systems. We have liver, thyroid, respiratory system. So these are 3 things that they're saying that are associated with this 741 hertz tuning fork in the Solfeggio frequencies. And the gemstones associated are lapis lazuli and sodalite, nice blue stones. I love lapis lazuli for the throat chakra. And the archangel associated with this is Zedekiel. And the astrological correspondences are Gemini and Mercury, its leader or ruler, or what it say it do, or how it do it what. That's astrology. We're not doing astrology. We're just talking about a correspondence. But that's pretty cool. So this one could help with a lot of PTSD issues, I think, and grief, getting it out, the throat chakra, and a lot of the PTSD is, when you speak about it, it is hard, but it does kind of detoxify the situation. It's hard to talk about, but it does detoxify. That does help to talk about it. And maybe this fork will give you a little feels. And next, my dear listeners, we have 2 left, and we're going to go over the 852 hertz frequency in the Solfeggio Frequencies with that dang tuning fork. Oh, yes, I've got it. And here it is for you. So how did that 852 hertz tuning fork sound for you, feel for you? We'll go over the correspondences. Yes. So the brainwave is the theta. The healing effect is awakening intuition, spiritual insight. The chakra that's associated with it is the third eye. The bodily systems and organs associated with it are the brain, the eyes, and the sinuses. So the gemstones and crystals you can use to associated with this 852 hertz frequency are amethyst and fluorite. Oh, I love them both, but fluorite, oh my gosh, blue fluorite. Oh, heaven. Blue fluorite. There's one up at Cosmic Connections that's an egg, and it's $36, and I want it. And I'm thinking about it all the time. All the time. Maybe I need it to get my theta waves going. My third eye chakra spinning. Maybe we'll think about it. I've got a lot of blue fluorite. I probably don't need that egg, but I want it. And the archangel associated with this is Archangel Raziel. And the astrological correspondences, are Sagittarius and Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius. And that, my dear friends, is all that information that I wanted you to know about the 852 hertz Solfeggio frequency. And lastly, we have 9. Wait, I can't read that. 963 hertz. Oh my goodness. And this 963 hertz is a little tiny toony fork, and it's so cute. It's so cute. And I did play it at the beginning of the podcast for our dial tone. One part of it. So I'm going to play this one for you guys. Beep, beep, whoop, whoop, I ain't messing around. Because we done. No, we still got to do the correspondences. How'd you feel about that one? Make you feel anything kind of crazy, like you're really freaking psychic? It might have. So this is the 9. Can't read it again. 963. It's kind of rubbed off, sorry. 963 hertz Solfeggio frequency tuning fork, the highest pitch. And the correspondences with the brain waves are the beta gamma. And the healing effects give you a connection to divine consciousness. That's very healing. That's all you need. And the chakra association is the crown chakra. The organs and bodily systems associated with it are the pineal gland and the nervous system. So this would be a really good one for PTSD, I think, the nervous system and the pineal gland. And then gemstones are clear quartz and selenite. The archangel associated with this is Metatron. And the astrological correspondences with the 963 hertz Solfeggio frequency are Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So there you go. That is all the Solfeggio frequencies, and broken down into different ways we can associate these notes with other things in our lives. because notes are or music in general is conceptual, and we if you're deaf, you can't understand what it is. Just a little aside, and I think I've mentioned this in the podcast before, but I did read in a book about schizophrenia once that schizophrenics who are born deaf can hallucinate sound. I think I've said that before. I may have even said it in the first podcast, for all I know. Probably not. I don't know. I said it at some point, maybe. I've always been fascinated by that footnote. It was a footnote, and I thought it was fascinating. So when I listen to these forks and I look through the correspondences, so what I'm going to do so far with the end of this podcast is just let you relax your ears. And, I made this one a lot shorter. I thought the other one was a little, I'm glad you got through it if you did. So, for looking at these and listening to them, for my PTSD, I really feel like any of the 174 hertz, it's for physical healing, pain relief, delta waves, root chakra, bones, muscles, nerves. That would help with my HEDS. And the 285 hertz, I feel like that would help a lot with a regeneration kind of thing with the body or organs and systems. I feel like that would be good for grief. The 396 hertz, I feel like would be really great for either of them, grief and PTSD. That's a sacral chakra association. So your pleasures would come back and the feelings of just well-being. Then at the 528 hertz, I feel like this one could be good for definitely the PTSD. And I feel like the grief too, because the stones really make me feel that way. And Archangel Raphael, the stones being citrine and yellow topaz, these are really high vibe kind of solar plexus, give you energy about yourself and help you repair your grief and your stress and your sadness. So then with the 639 hertz frequency, I think that this one might be good in regards to either one of those for PTSD. I feel like, and grief maybe, because it is with relationships, if your grief is around relationships. But I feel like it's good for especially the PTSD because it helps you communicate it, and communicate your heart to them or anyone that needs to understand it, or even to yourself. The 741 hertz frequency, I feel like as far as PTSD and grief, I think this one would really help more with grief because you could speak your grief and feel like the problem-solving aspect of it might help you speak it, find ways to heal it, or just keep dealing with it until you have healed it and let it go, if you can. So then we have the 552 hertz, and I feel like this one could help with the PTSD because it brings the spirituality and the spiritual insight to the PTSD. So it may give you a reason for it. It's not just pain and suffering and tragedy and what the hell's going on right now. It's more about evolving. And that's why I think that one would help with PTSD. And the 983 or 63 hertz, I feel like this one can help both. How could it not? I feel like this one would help everything. It's a wonderful thing. The nervous system, anytime that one's relaxed, we need it, and we need to connect to our divine consciousness, in my opinion. Why not? It feels great when I try to do it. And I think I am doing it. Who knows? When I feel like I'm connecting to divine energy, and what that means to me is love, just pure unconditional love is divine energy. When I connect to that and have my guides offer a way to it, or I start feeling gratitude and eventually get to that divine love feeling, it's I feel better all around. I mean, it's just for me, it's a goal to be able to do that and show it to other people. So I hope I showed you some ways that if you're dealing with either grief or PTSD or anything else, reading through these correspondences and listening to these forks, if they helped you, let me know how being forked helped you in the comments. Right now, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, and you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. It's an Everclear advice app on the Play Store and the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. And it is everclear.com on the internets, on the webs, wild webs. Whoa. So I am going to put the chart in the video that I make for this for YouTube and Spotify. And all you'll see is the chart. And I'm also going to put the chart on the front page, scroll all the way down to the bottom of our website, and you can download it. And the website is www.we'reallpsychic.com. Not we are, but we're all psychic without an apostrophe, because internet doesn't do apostrophes. Oh, those brilliant programmers didn't let us use our forever used apostrophe. I mean, it's a great thing, an apostrophe. It separates conjunctions. Anyway, with that, I will let you have your life back, and maybe you can find some healing in this. And for the fourth episode of the Sound Healing series, I plan on trying out some things with you guys on a recording. See how it goes. Might even do it on video. Don't know. Haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to do it with you. Thank you, listeners and watchers. I love you. I always have. I always will. And I hope you're having a great time wherever you may be. Peace out. Bye.